we started from where? Bringing our data from our data source, which we have. I will also show you how to get data from at least at one database. So we are bringing this from data source of what? Excel workbook. After extracting this to our Power Query, we have our Power Query editor open up. And looking at this screen, there's not much for me to do on this channel. The table is perfect. There's no extra column. There's no extra row. You have your catalog channel key, and you have your channel name. So let's check another table. City. You have your city key. You have city name. You have state, and you have zone. Everything looking great. Even if there's any error, looking at your column quality here, when you go to view, when you go to your view tab from your Power Query editor, you can see column quality. You can see column quality to tell you if there's any error on your data. That is a quick way to check if there's any error or if there's a blank or empty. Yeah, so you look to view, you can see column quality, like when you check it, it will always show all this. If you don't check it, it won't show that. Okay, perfect. The next thing is what? Let's check our product category. Let's check our product category. Checking your product category, you still realize that the old data is looking what? It's looking great. You understand? You are still good with this. Okay, let's jump to our product subcategory. This our product subcategory is also looking better. We don't need to stress ourselves by doing what? Cleaning any data here. Okay, let me check my sales. Are you on sales?
Yes.
Do you have any error there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. This is what we are looking for. Looking at it, we have one empty row, and also there is a null value. And when you check your column header is showing what you don't want. It's showing column 2, column 3, column 4, and so on like that. But that's, you don't need all this one. My column header should be what? Order ID, order date, unique cost, price, and so on like that. So how can I take this to my header, and how can I remove this empty row that I don't need? And also looking at the data very well, on row 19 you are seeing something like on your order ID you are seeing all, whereby you don't need that. Now also take note of something. On your column ID, do you realize that this column ID is seeing, you are seeing this as what? No, it's not a number. Yeah, in some situations you see your order ID showing as a value. You see it as a number showing 1, 2, 3 on that data type. You know, we have data type, number, decimal point, text, date, and so on like that. Okay, let's try to clean up this sales table. Help me to go back to your home tab. Go back to your home tab. Look at the groups very well. You see where they say remove column. Go to your home tab. Can you see remove column? Can you click on it and say the drop down and say remove column from the top? Oh, sorry, remove row from the top. You know, we have to remove column and also have to remove rows. Help me to do remove rows from where? From the top. Remove top rows. Remove top rows, exactly. You are getting there. Remove top rows. Can you click on it? It will show you a dialog telling you that how many rows do you want to remove from the top. it will show you how many rows do you want to remove from the top. Now I have it here too. Can you see? Now just input 1. If it's more than 1 in your own end, enter the number. So I can do what? Just hit enter, and that row will be deleted. Now the second thing is this. This your row number 1 should be the header of your table. You do what? But watch very well. Look at your right hand side. Do you see something telling you that apply steps? Whatever you do, there's no control set in Power Query. It will only record all the steps. Now, and tell you, if you want to remove any steps, you do what? Go there and click on the cancel icon to remove it. The first thing is showing now, after change of type of the headers and so on, that's from the source. The next thing what you apply to this table is what? You remove 4 rows. If this is not correct, if possibly you want to remove 5 rows, and you mistakenly input 2, you now deleted 2 rows, you will have what? You can go back to this. You can see something like gear icon, like settings. You can click on it. It will take you back to what you have from the beginning. Can you see? You can change it. You can change the number. Besides this apply steps, you can see something like settings icon. You can click on it to change what you have before. If it is more than 1, if it is more than 2, or you wanted to remove 5 rows and you mistakenly remove 20 rows, you can come back to edit. Now, all these apply steps is being recorded in what we call M language. All these steps is being recorded in what we call M language. Let's do another step. Help me to take this first row as my header. You can do that by going to what? Go to your own tab, either from your own tab, or you can go to your transform tab. You will see something called, under transform, you will see use first row as header. Help me to use first row as header, even in Python. You can code to do that. Okay, let me use first row as header. Can you see it? Help me to click on it. That thing has jumped to the header of your table. So, are we on the same page? Yeah. We are there. Now, I told you that this has been recorded as well and on M language, but on the UI, graphically, you are seeing it as what? Applies there, which is very simple. Okay. Yes, perfect. I'm recording it. So now, can you go to Advanced Editor? Let's see what you have been doing so far in M language. Can you see Advanced Editor?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Advanced Editor, other query. You see Advanced Editor. Under query, have you seen Advanced Editor? On the home tab, under query group, you see Advanced Editor. All what you have been doing, this Power Query is helping you to write it in M language. Sometimes, after cleaning up my data, I used to copy this M language. I'm not going to keep it on my notepad. I know a day will come, I'll still need it. I'll just do copy and paste, bam, everything will come up.
And you apply to a different set of data.
No, not different set of data. If the data is in the same format with this, you understand? Maybe I lodge the file or anything like that. Instead of me repeating that same step, I just copy this and replace it with the M language. That's all. Okay. This is the advanced editor. Sometimes you need to understand this too. Probably my data source has changed, and I don't want to edit my data source from my UI. I have my UI, the GUI, where you can navigate and just do the settings. But you can choose.
I'm not a tech person.
Okay.
So I'm lost when you say GUI, UI.
UI is user interface. G, we have what we call different operating systems. Some work with what? CUI, command line interface, and why some CLI, command line interface, why some work with GUI, graphical user interface. If you are dealing with something like Linux, it's CLI, which is command line interface. You input the command into your terminal. But if you are dealing with Windows is very simple. We use GUI on Windows. Windows is following GUI. Everything you do is what? Click on icon, do this, do that. But you are getting it now. But in a situation like when they released Windows, maybe back then in 1998, they used what we call Windows DOS, MS-DOS. You have to input code in order to do what? To do any task. Such as something like this. Where's my CMD? This is what Microsoft used before. If I want to navigate to my desktop now, I have to do, okay, let me do CD like this, change directory to my C drive. You have to, sometimes, you have to kind of understand the in and out of the, even how to navigate your system. You understand? So this is our what? The command that has been doing the whole work. But mostly you don't really need this. But just know that there's something they call M language. Okay, let's close this. You don't need this. Just cancel. Now we are having our data in this format. Now who will tell me how can I remove that non-value on row 19 or row 17 now? I want to remove that non-value. Tell me. Remove what? Remove blank rows. Sometimes it might be blank, but probably it has other ID. What if you have other ID here and the date is showing blank and you have price and you have quantity? Immediately the moment you remove blank, you can't use that for anything again in your calculation. You understand? But in this situation, sometimes, what if someone now go back to that data source and fill the null space, and you remove that null? You understand? What I do is what? I will filter null. Filter null by clicking on any of these column and remove, uncheck null. Click on the drop down beside and you can uncheck null value. So that if by tomorrow, and we still partialize it, we go back to that data source. We go back here and fill that null space and see whether it will come up here or not.
It removes it across column.
Yes, across column. You understand? It will help you to remove it across column.
Sorry, can you repeat that non-value?
Okay. I can't see my cursor. Where is it? Okay. So you do this and you uncheck this. Then click OK. What I'm saying is this. Someone's supposed to input date, order date, and ship date. Now, he jumped that 2 steps. He's supposed to have order ID on his table from the data source, but he forgot to even input order ID. But later on, moving forward, you were able to see that there is quantity on that column. There is total sales. There is unit cost there. But what is happening? You decided that, oh, you can remove, under the remove rows, you can remove blank. If you remove blank, that will not be useful again. But if you decided to do what? To filter it out, it is better. So that by the time they even fill that space again, it will come up. Whether you remove filter, you don't remove filter, that it will replace. So when you refresh your data, it will replace that null value, and you will see it in your data. Now, let's check our data again. Are you seeing any error again? Let me check across the column. Help me to check. And I even have one real life data from our our restaurant. They do sales every day. Yes. So I will also can share so that you can navigate across what you see what you can do with it. So, but I bet if you still come back to the class and tell me you can't do anything to it. But if you do it, I can promise you something.
What's the result of
license to what? $10 per month. My license is okay. My own is $12 per month. Enterprise. Unless you want it for 1 month.
Sure, you can do anything with it. You'll be giving us your remote job.
Where?
You'll be giving us your remote job, your freelance job.
Freelance job. Is there Upwork now?
No, your own.
My own.
It.
Now, wow. So, okay. We have our data now. Can we check the last one? Promotion. This is okay, the promotion are also doing well. So now we are done with the data with the 2 steps now. E and T. Yeah.
So what if data is what if in the Excel sheet, maybe the errors are maybe comma, full stop and all of that? How do you gain that up?
That's the reason why we are in that. I gave you that logistic file. When you get there, you see how we remove it. You can replace value. If possibly where you see no value, sometimes they are on maybe value column. You don't need to remove it. You can replace it with what is there in some cases. If you see that where you're supposed to have value, you are now having some no value on that data. You just click on it, highlight the whole column, and do what? Go and replace value. Anything you see no, anything you replace it with 0. So that's better. Before, okay.
For example, now, as you have proceeded on this sheet, you realize that you need to add on that 26. How do you go about it?
Okay. If you want to add another table from that same or from another source now.
From that same source.
Yeah. This you keeping you are still on your PowerPoint. So can you see new data source? Where is it? Can you see it? You can add new data source. Just click new data source. I can add more tables. I can add more tables to this data. So, you know. Yeah? If you want to remove data source, you don't need it again. Just right click on that table. Right click on it and remove. If I don't want any of this table now, I just right click and delete. And that's all. On any table here, if I don't want this promotion now, I'll just right click and delete. And that's all. Okay, can we close and apply? can we close and apply from your own tab the first key? Extraction and transformation done. The next thing is what? Loading. Loading to where? Your data in Power BI desktop. So, okay, let's have it here. Close and apply. Allow this to load.
Sorry, there are three options there. See close and apply. You see apply and you see close. Now when you see close and apply, it means you are closing your Power BI and you are applying the changes that you
All the changes that you made.
That's what it means. When you say apply, it means just apply the changes, but don't close your Power BI interface.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so when you click on close, close means close the Power BI, but don't apply the changes.
To my meetings. Exactly.
So those three things is very important to understand it.
Thank you. Are we there? Are we having the same interface? Sorry, Ninja. Is Power BI desktop doesn't work on Mac?
It works on Mac, but it's good to install it in different
Very
whole game.
sorry.
I have a way to
I don't use it. I don't use Mac. I don't want a situation whereby I don't use iPhone. A situation where someone will type me to one corner. No.
The Mac is good.
Whether it's sweet or not, we love our Surface. Microsoft Surface is there for me. So, are we good? Okay. We are having three interfaces on your Power BI. The first one is report, the second one is data, and the last one is model. Can you navigate through it and see what you have here? We have three interfaces. Your model, this is your data, and you have your model. Can you see something under your model? By default, Power BI sense that all this data have something in common. Sorry, sir. Power BI helps you to create relationships. That whether you're ready for relationship or you are not ready.
You also have this one SAP where you can create a relationship between
Yes.
logistics and
Yeah.
I've seen on
SAP is the most data warehouse to understand. The most difficult data warehouse. SAP. Eh? SAP, sir. You know we have SAP HANA.
I think I used the SAP business for sales team. So I didn't use the complete model.
Yeah, I know. You can't even use it finish. They just give you the access to
So
what
what? Yeah.
SAP, they are very slow. If they do calculation, they are database. You can't aggregate it.
What do you mean by aggregate?
Like if they do calculation, like they tell you that the total sum of these things is this, and you calculate it by yourself, you won't get the same answer. And like my company now, they tell you don't give us what SAP is giving us. Your own calculation is not relevant to them, unless maybe when you're counting or they won't allow you to do sum or average or something on SAP. The way you have the average from SAP, that's the way you are presenting it. So SAP is kind of logical.
You know, my last
And them also follow 445 calendar.
what do you mean I have 445?
All of us are in business now.
No,
Eh?
no. Some of us are still trying to be.
You are in business environment.
Boss, you can't use Power BI. Unless you use Amazon Web Services. Can't run it. I checked on that.
Imagine.
Mark.
I will not be free to use what I want. I don't do that. So, okay, we have our data model in this
So
way.
you were saying.
Okay, I was saying 445. Oh, don't forget things. Let's move now. So, 445 calendar, they use it in business environment. Most multinational companies, they use 445. For instance, they pick a day to be their starting day of the week. Like my company now, they do Saturday is their starting day of the week. They don't care. You work for 6 days, Saturday, no Monday, Monday to Friday. So especially for sales teams, they are the one working from Monday to Saturday. But their own starting date, day of the week is what? Saturday. Now, if you start January 1 on Monday, probably they won't count that as their own starting point of the month. They will pick either from December 30, which is Saturday. It's okay, December 30 is first day of our own new year. So they will now count 28 days as 4 weeks. 28 days, 4 weeks. That's they have 4 weeks in January. The moment it is 25, they start their own February. 25th of January now in my company, you are already in February. So they count another 4 weeks, making you'll be maybe towards the end of the February, right? Now they will now pick another 5 weeks for the March. So that's 445 calendar. And in most cases, those companies will pay 13 months salary.
You give away, boss.
Hmm?
You give away.
They pay 13 months salaries. Most companies like that.
Why?
Check
What's the relation between that and
if you check the calendar very well, the way they calculate it, probably they don't use Sunday as their business day. They will remove the whole Sunday, everything from their calendar, and even though you are downloading their report on their SAP, it will show them. Now, you as an analyst, that's where I'm going. You know you have pop-up calendar. Probably towards December of the year, they must have probably sometimes they finish their own year before our own normal calendar. And sometimes probably on 1st of January or 2nd of January, that's when they finish their own year. So now you as an analyst, they now ask you, but mind you, if you select February on SAP, you will see normal calendar. But while doing reports, you must follow 445 calendar. Now you are downloading reports carrying the same calendar, and they are telling you to follow 445. Now we have some cases whereby you have to write some code. You input your starting date and your end date, which will generate 445 calendar for you. You will now merge it together with your normal calendar, so that anytime, probably if I select January 28th on the month, January 25th, it should be showing me February, or if I select February from my slider now, I should be getting my report from what? 25th of January. So you struggle when you get to show because I know it took me a lot of maybe energy to get that calendar right. So but now I know I just do one sheet, put on my calendar there, merge it together with my report. So yeah, let's watch this. Yeah, I mean Power BI helps you to do what? To create relationship by default. But there's what we call cardinality in Power BI. Do you want to filter across both tables? That's or which type of relationship are we even having? If you check the line very well, you will see that the arrow is pointing towards 6. You're having either 1 to star, right? Or you have star to 1. That's what you can have. Or sometimes you can have star to star. Or sometimes you have 1 to star. So now the meaning of this table is saying what? This manufacturer product category relating to your sales table in what relationship? one to many. This star means many. One to many. If the direction is saying is pointing towards up like this, that means many to one. But this one is showing what? One to many relationship. Can you explain that? Do you get the logic? One to many relationship. Can you tell me the meaning? What do you understand by that thing? You have category table. Meaning that you can't have duplicates of your what? Category ID within your category table. But you can have duplicate of category ID on sales table. Because probably as a customer, I bought the same product category today, I still come tomorrow, I still bought the same category. That means on my sales table, I can have multiple rows of category ID. I don't know, maybe you get that?
I think we'll get one category.
Get it right now. Now, right click on one of these line. You can right click. You can check the property of that relationship. Can you check the property? Can you see? Click on it and right click. It will show you everything. From this table now, you will realize that this is graded, this column, and this is also graded. Product subcategory, using product subcategory key to connect to what? Product subcategory key on sales. Now check very well. What is cardinality of this relationship? Many. Are you sure? Okay. Many to one relationship. And what is cross filter? Probably you want to filter across both tables, or you want to check on one table alone. Now, probably I want to filter across sales table alone. That is what I'm using.
Can you give an example of how that cross filter can be used?
Okay. You have your category table. Subcategory containing many subcategory ID. But don't forget, there's also something connecting them together. We have product key here. This product key, we also have it on our product table. Now, this which example can I use here? Okay, by the time you create your visual, the kind of interaction that you want from these two tables is like, for instance, now you want subcategory table ID to what? Interact with what? Sales table in such a way that anytime I'm selecting social subcategory, give me anything related to it. From where? From sales table. But in another case, if you change it now, it will filter in both directions. Like if I have two different filters now, one is based on subcategory, one is based on sales. Anytime I click something like a slider, it will interact on both tables. But now I want it to interact on sales table alone. I don't know
Yeah.
But when we get there, you will understand better. When you do it
I think I
practical.
get.
So now, if you like, you can make a relationship inactive. Like inactive. You just uncheck that button. But we don't want to do that. Just leave it that way. But thank God we are having correct relationship now by default. This Power BI was able to do what for you? Okay. So let's do this. Sometimes the relationship that Power BI will give you by default and not be what you want. You understand? But let's delete like 2 or 3 and see what we can do. Yeah, so you can delete all and let's create it by ourselves. Let's see all the relationship. Just by click on it and press delete or just that phone.
Platform.
Right click and delete. Delete from where? Yeah, from delete.
Sir.
On the line.
Sir.
Don't delete them from there.
Can you publish the data and share with me so I can use it on my own?
WhatsApp.
No, like this Power BI
I'll publish
model.
it later. We have deleted the. You go and import that table again. Don't delete table. Delete the relationship. The line. Right click on the line and delete. Yes.
Okay. What's the relevance of the table, if I may ask?
It's the same table. Yeah, that's all.
It's the same table.
Yes.
So it has only compressed my information. Then.
No, it's showing you now in what we call diagram view
Diagram view.
of the table.
Three power people. You see the same thing, the same motion. This is tabular form.
Why you have diagram view?
But this one is diagram view. This model is diagram view. This is model. See the same diagram, but this diagram view.
That's model.
I'm saying, can you just publish that thing so I can then you
No,
share
immediately
with me?
after the model, I'll share with you. Yes, import that after cleaning it.
After cleaning.
Open that this thing like that system. Clean that says table alone and import it direct. But I don't. I'm still finding it difficult to understand that Power BI can run on Yeah. Yeah.
No, it is just the line.
The line, not the table.
Not the table.
Right click on the line. Don't delete the table.
I've deleted my product key, promotion key.
Promotion table. Key.
Promotion key of promotion.
You have to go and import this back.
That's what it was.
Yes.
You delete what?
So go to power query and click on
Product key.
recent sources.
Recent sources.
Under home.
That's it.
Recent sources.
So you said you should go to
Power query. Power query.
You can transform data.
That particular table.
Your start data. You won't check the data.
I too.
That's an example.
Okay.
Please, you don't check. You check that today first.
Yeah.
You can go back to that details. You click on that section. Check only that you want.
I didn't believe anything. I don't know.
So. Let's start from city. How do you create your relationship? You know that you have city code, and we talk about. Oh, that's good. Okay. You know we have in your table, you have city, and like everything is connecting to sales, right? The whole other tables, like you have say some category, product category, and so on like that. They are connected to a single table called sales. Now, there's what we call dimension and fact table. Dimension and fact table. Now, if you check this product category now and sales, your sales like increase in value, like let me say your sales increases every day. It's your dimension table. Why have you sorry? That's my fact table. Why my dimension table is what? All this that one that is relating to our data, that is related to our sales table. You understand? You know, for instance, like I made mention earlier, giving an example of maybe you want to kind of avoid abnormality of your data. People they sat down trying to create a model like, oh, we are having a separate table for our sales record. Now in our company, we have product category, we have brand, we have subcategory. After that, we have our product table, and after that, we have different cities where we operate, and also we have different mediums that we pass our info sales. Now, all these ones we call them dimension table, and we have our fact table, which is the one we are using. Like, we are taking sales record now. You know, you are taking different data every day. It's like it's the one giving you the reality, explaining the key value of what you have in other dimension table. So now, if you want to relate this now, I explained earlier, like we can have many to one relationship, we can have one to many relationship, and we can have many to many relationship. In some cases, I think I've seen like a cases of many to many relationships before. Like again, the data you shared with me the other time, I think we have many to many relationships here. So, but in this format now, when you check on your city table now, you only have a city appearing one on your table. But different people can buy from the same city on the sales table. You understand? Now you are having that city repeating itself. You have city key repeating itself on the sales table. You have product category key repeating itself on the sales table. You have all these dimension table revolving around your fact table. Now, how do you relate them? Now I know that on my city, the city key is related to what? It's related to city key on my fact table. No, from my model now, I can try to do what? When I click on city key, just drag it direct. That's the first way of doing it. To your sales table. And you now check under your sales table, you have city key there. I can drag like this. Make sure you drag to that same city key on your sales table. Now, it will automatically create the relationship for you.
From city key from city to
Let me say the way I understand it. You mean that for you to create a relationship between the two, there must be
A foreign key.
what do you mean by foreign key? I would have said maybe like a subset of one key from another set. Maybe like because if you look at city key is the same.
Actually, it's not a subset. It's the same thing. So it's just like you have a colon here that also appears here. So you join the two colons together.
They are unique.
Like when you say they are unique, was it that they are
On
kind
this
of
table,
different?
city key is unique. But on this table, city key is not unique.
Meaning that
Like an example that I painted earlier, like you have student ID. Student cannot have two student admission number.
yes,
And two students cannot bear the same admission number.
yes,
But they can bear the same name.
yes.
Perfect. Now, that student ID is what we are using to fetch student data from exam record. But on exam record, that student ID can repeat itself several times. Okay, you are doing math, you are doing chemistry, you are doing physics. The same student ID. For instance, you have last week we have a table whereby we have what do you call it? Other ID, like invoice ID repeating itself. Probably someone came to your store, bought a single product. Invoice ID will generate. Now, someone also came and bought 20 products. You can't generate different invoice for each product. You pack everything inside one invoice. That means on your table, that invoice ID will repeat itself for all the products. Like we saw it on the last week on our file. But in this case now, on this sales table, the city key is repeating itself whenever someone is buying from that city. Why the same thing? Okay, which product are you buying? If the product key you are buying now is under what? Under product table. We have product table, right? Let me check.
Product category.
Okay, this is it. So we have product key here and we have product name. Now this product key is unique on this table. Why is not unique on this table? You understand? But in some cases you want to create a formula. You need to get unique ID that is existing on the system. Probably if you are using 365 on your Excel, you can say unique. Unique what? Product category ID. If you bring it out, and then you can do what? Sum ifs product category is this, and you get subtotal of all the products. Like we did last week, we did something like that.
Without you can have the particular parameter is unique.
Oh, perfect. Don't forget, when you are doing your Power Query, if under that column quality, if you go back there, it will show you that some values are unique. I don't know, maybe you take note of that. Let's go back there. Let's see. Go to your home tab. Under when you are on your report, can you click on transform data? Let's go to that sales table or anywhere you are on your table. Let's go to sales table. Can you go to your view and do column distribution?
Check it.
Can you do column distribution? Okay. Can you check on the order ID? Order ID is telling me that there's no anything repeating itself on this column. 1,000 unique distinct value. That's what you have on this column. You don't have duplicate. If you have two order ID on this row, that means you're having issue with your data. And when you check on these other dates, we are having 330 distinct, while you have 363 unique dates. So that's the column distribution. If something is unique, it will tell you.
So that means they didn't open for 2 days in the year.
Eh?
I said that means they didn't open for 2 days in the year.
I've been now. So let me check promotion. Under this promotion, can you see column quality? Can you see column distribution? So in some cases, you have something repeating itself. They are not unique in that table. So that's how it works. So you can close it again. Why? My battery is low, my system battery. Okay. Are we charging now? So can you create all the relationship now? Or let's create another one in another way. Can you go to data modeling tab, and you come to this model, either of the two. You can come to this place or you click on this model. Okay, don't worry, you are there already. You are clicking on model. You have your, what do we call it? There should be a place where you can create manage relationship. Manage relationship. Yeah, click on it. So showing that you have how many relationships now? One. You can double it. Add it. Create new relationship. New. Yeah. So you know that there's a relationship between product category and your what and your sales. Can you help me to create that? I want to add new relationship. Let me click on this. So which table says I want it to connect to what? Product category. On which column? I'm using this product key here, and I can scroll aside on this. Can you see it picks it for me automatically? So telling me what? Many to one relationship. So I can press OK.
I don't have any text. That's all.
Yeah, that means you not select on your product. Select on product, yeah. So you can click OK like that. So let's create it for others. Yeah.
But the easier way is to drag, right? Drag and drop is faster.
Huh?
The easier way is to drag and drop.
If that's convenient for you. If you know that you won't mistake it, so you can do that. So you can create for others.
I don't like this.
You press the drag and drop.
Yeah.
This submission of the keys, is it correct? I didn't make summation of keys is like those parameters you see summative product key. No. Under to your left. Like summation.
Okay.
All the keys. Is it meant summation?
They are not so many.
Oh, okay.
The moment you change it to relationship, notice that. Check it. Change it to relationship. If it is a number before, you check it.
Start creating
I just feel it's easier for you to drag around because you see
Well, sometimes dragon is not draggable.
it might not be draggable.
No, it's draggable, but you do nonsense sometimes. If you just realize that it will give you error when you are trying to plot your graph.
So okay.
Instead of the cross filter to work, it won't work sometimes.
So that means is it because the arrow direction is wrong or what? Maybe because the arrow
Even
direction
sometimes data might be wrong.
I believe that trying to create a group and they are not linked. It will not create it automatically. Okay. Yes. If you are not related, you not create relationship.
Let's do this sharp and create our dashboard for this sales data. Knowing how to bring data from multiple sources. And I know we can't clean that logistic data today. As we are moving, that logistic data is kind of crazy. Are you true?
How many of them?
And also there's another functionality here under your manage. You can see something called auto dictate. You can click auto dictate to dictate relationship for you.
automatically detected.
Can you see? Can you see my screen? Found 3 new relationships. You see? So just close it. So it will tell you you can oh, I can still do more. Can you see? Come up automatically.
So it does.
Yes.
Close. Once you close it, it automatically happens.
Yeah, it will load. Slowly now.
Wow. Sorry, the first picture is single.
Single, yeah.
Single.
Now, let me go to your dashboard. I want to see total sales. I want to see total sales by product name. I want to see total sales by channel. I want to see total sales, total profit by product subcategory top 5. Okay. Total net sales by product category. Total net sales separately. Total profit separately. I want to see. I remember something. I want to see you. Now, filtering your data with month alone, January to December. Month alone. Profit. Create it. If there's no profit, create the profit. I said product, total sales by product category. Net sales itself separately. Profit, total profit separately.
Total profit, net sales.
And I need total sales by region. And I also want to see top 5 states by product, top 5 states by net sales and profit.
Net sales
And profit.
Just two.
Huh?
Top sales by region.
I mentioned 6 now.
Top sales by region.
I'll say 6 now.
No, we didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
The more you are asking me to do it again, I'm more okay, next is
Net sales. Total profit.
total profit.
Total sales by product.
Yes.
Total sales by region.
Total sales by product category. And the last one is
Top 5.
top 7 states.
You said 5.
Okay. And profit. Okay. Okay. Show me that. Yeah. And top 5 states by net sales and profit together.
Your price and total quantity that you sell.
No, other product category gives and other product
By total cost, like, so we are net sales minus. All these are
and good. Have the kind of data I use to do. Help me to create space. Help me to create profit. You have me? Let me check the data very well. But I still use this data this week now. How come I did not really discover something like this? Okay, you know you have unit cost price, right? Multiplied by your quantity. That's your total cost of a product. And when you say the price, we also have price here. Price, that is selling price. Multiplied by your quantity will give you your total sales. Now, subtracting total sales, subtracting total cost from total sales will give you your profit. So now, what are you doing? You are adding those columns to your sales. Go to your data and add the column to sales. Not on Excel, on your Power BI. Don't tamper with our data source. We are taking it from no? Okay, you are starting again. You're not making any problem, you are calculating now. You are creating a calculation column. Go to your sales page under data. Let me tell you what. Where you are, don't go to PowerPoint. But either you do it in this format. I love doing my calculation in PowerPoint because it makes my data lighter. It will be heavy. But if you do your calculation in your Power BI tool, you are doing well. Go to that data tab. Click on save on your right hand side. Tell this, let me add new column. Can you see new column? Like new column. Perfect. When you are adding new column, write your formula there. What do you want to call it? Total. Yes, from that formula bar. Change the column to what? Total sales. Total cost. Sales. Let me change it to
I am lost.
Don't be lost.
I find where should I
If you are not taking this again, escape this. Go to data tab. This is your data. Click on this case. And help me to add new column. New column at the top. Now you are multiplying quantity multiplied by cost price. You have not other quantity multiplied by unit cost.
The cost of sales is there already.
The cost of sales.
The cost of sales is there already. We only need to calculate the selling price.
Oh, you came to Power. Is it Power Play? No. Okay, you need to play. Yeah. No, you have data. Price, selling price, total sales. Then minor goods from each other will give you. But if
Let me just write it down.
Have you done total sales?
No, let me tell you, like, it was for me, I think total sales minus total cost, right?
Total cost.
Total cost of getting. Are you told you can multiply it whether it's true or false? Right. If total cost is there. Okay. Oh, total cost is there already. What of total sales? That means we can multiply price and quantity. So you are going to say this thing now. Yes. When you get total sales, now right? So total sales minus
Why is it that you put this one?
less than green.
So we said you were telling us to create 3 things. You know we only wrote
You have your total sales, total cost. Yeah, that's the name of the
the top way some category.
yeah, equal to. Yeah. What's the name of your that column? Just start typing the name of the column. But you have to get the name of the column. Start the name of the table first. The name of the table is what it says. Start it. And you see, under sales, all the columns are next time coming up.
He's trying to save you next time.
We are picking total and price now. Yes, you are click on it. And you can use that. Multiply by what? Sales quantity. Keep it like other quantity. Perfect. Hit enter. Now I can see. Now, I'm going to give you
the price, all the and then the quantity. Okay, say 1 person price, so quantity price. This one is given to us. What is the that is that total profit the price we have more than the unit cost minus times. So now you can either do but you want to see your profit so you can create the profit flow and you get and so on as measure. No, that color, the profit is so, you know, calculation is not calculation. So you have to solve it. So you can't solve it. Instead of going to equal, put up the so you have to do you can create just like we did the but sometimes you cannot even do that. You want to put columns. You can
I will not do this way. Let's delete net profits. Delete total profit. Delete total profit.
So that's what you should have. That's what it's price and space for them.
Measure. You see what I'm saying now? But it's connected to the yes. So we need profits now too. What do you see? Let's go measure. Let's go measure. So now,
Okay, let me also do the same thing.
Or let's press it.
Yeah, you
So it's brackets.
Use zones.
So, new measure will be profits. So, now, June. Oh, you know, it's the same thing. So you want to see your rent profit?
Yes, so
Sure. It's the same thing.
Check it.
You don't make us so big sales or big sales. They always billions. So what do you get for your net profit?
3, 4, I think.
It's always different. 2.4.
I'm seeing billions. What should you
This billion.
Yes.
From you are. Hafiz,
yeah.
what's the net profit? Total net profit.
Total net profit.
Yeah.
Are you guys using
Measure.
measure?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You should be getting something 2 point something. I don't know. Let me do my own and see. Let me do my own and see.
Where's the mistake? Where's the mistake? This time this is 10. This time this is 10. Yes.
This is my profit too.
Yes, yeah, correct.
I get 2 points.
How did you do your measure? Please go back to try start the process just for measuring.
Okay, I just click anywhere and I start new measure. Just click new
measure.
Yes.
Okay.
Just click new measure. No, it's not.
So the column class sum of the meta as measure.
Yeah, maybe she.
Because the all sum as measure. One multiply.
Okay.
One gets the
Error.
600 billion.
Okay. Okay. You get the measure. Okay. You have to create a new table. You want to calculate it by calculation. So, but everybody can just. Yeah, go measure it. So, this is total profit and.
See, we need to get that thing again. You said we should do what? What should we get now? Those assignments will then give after saying we should calculate profit.
Me, I can't give you the same thing. Okay, what was the question?
Does anybody remember the question? Yeah.
What? Okay, perfect. Because if you ask me to call it again now, I'll give you another.
Can you see? You get what I said? You got it?
But I know they sit there.
Make sure you order your, you sort your data from the sending order. I don't want to see one line going up here, another one going up in the other side. So, I will give you guys assignment today. Billion K.
What kind of graph do you use?
What I understand what you mean. You multiply what you want. Are you sure? Okay, go and sum the column profit together. Use some product, sum your sales profit together. Like what I'm doing on my screen now, I want to sum the total sales. So I'll just create a measure, call it net sales, and equal sign what? Sum. What is the name of my column? Sales, right? Total sales. So I'll just do sales, you know, sales table, right? That's what I'm looking at. So, and I have my total sales there. Just do this and close the bracket. It helps you to sum it and create your measure for you. That's your word. Net sales. You don't get it? You are creating new measure to calculate your net sales. The only reason why you are creating that is just for you to know the total auto sum of what? The auto sum of the whole column of your profit or sales. Now just use sum function, sum dash expression now, DAX, data analytic expression. So just use sum equal to sum and put the column name within the bracket, and that's all. So if I drag out my, don't let me do my work twice. Let me just format this once and for all. I can do this. I can do category. I can do title, and let me call it. Profit. You guys in business, especially accountants, you used to call something gross margin. Abi, is it gross profit or gross margin? What is the formula for it?
Gross margin is also what this price and this price. So that profit on top is margin.
In percentage, right? Yeah, that's in percentage. That's profit divided by sales. right? Divided times 8. Huh? What is PBIT?
I think BTI or something. That's what we use. Don't BIT. Profit before tax. That's what we use.
Depends on what data we have in there, and like also what we want to learn also, because if we use both of it and it gives us more insight. So I think it depends on what.
See, accountant here. No, man. Make a call. Those, they are looking for you in FRS. What of KPMG? What do they call them?
PwC.
You want fintech? They just use it, they not pay you well. Are you serious? Fintech don't take much people now. You don't have office, you don't have See, only 5 people can be working in fintech. Only 5 people. Just for them to have their app. What else they are doing? They have to be doing a whole lot of it. They only need few developers. Most of their developers, they are remote developers. So what are you analyzing for them? No, it's very easy.
Where did you put your...
I'm coming. Anything that will restrict my freedom, I hate it. I have joined custom for long now, but I hate anything. I need to go to wherever I want to go at any time I want. Not that someone will be telling me, don't go there, don't go that. No. So, I don't...
I want to ask, when you have fields, net profit and loss,
take on that something. Just...
No, 0.0. Yeah, this one is. So, alright.
You want to change it to now, but I think it is good. That now will show you that the whole entire value.
So the information is too much. That means total sales will be there. Then see total sales by Are you sure it's total sales by profit? I'm not sure it's total sales by profit.
Those in the other ones now, so that is like that's category.
Total sales by profit.
Profits by that.
Total sales by region.
Total sales. That was why we did it that way. I was asking you why you did it that way. Remember, I was asking what you did.
I haven't changed it. I drag same thing. Yeah, I drag same thing to both. I drag same thing to both. Now, in your dashboard today, put LinkedIn icon and put your LinkedIn URL here. So that when you share with anybody, you can click on your LinkedIn icon to take them to your LinkedIn URL page.
Sir,
Yep.
help me publish your data, share with me so I can create a dashboard.
Okay. I publish this data. But you are using the same thing. Okay, I will share with you on Power BI. Okay. I will do that now. Oh, I remember. I've been trying to check something. Selection pen.
What checks on?
Once this shape come down.
So you said we should have the post on you.
Yes, so perfect. That's what I actually want.
How did you get this result? How did you get
Yes. Profit and
That my profit. Let me add my slider. Let me add my slider. Slider. How do I want this slider to look like? Let me add under 6. Under date. I need my date hierarchy. I need month alone. So perfect. So this month I want it to drop down forward.
Your net sales is your total sales minus
Yeah.
your cost of goods sold.
No, that's net sales is the
Total sales.
sales multiplied by quantity.
Okay.
That's your price multiplied by
Okay,
quantity.
that one alone.
Price.
But if you want to get net sales, like this total sum of your sales,
Use a measurement.
yeah.
So net sales is price times quantity.
Yes, exactly. So what else do I need here? Okay, let me create my chart. I need all the charts.
First, give me this. Give me the chart where you can see. Let me see if I can.
Okay, How do I publish?
You can just share.
I want everybody to understand this. I don't want everybody to share. I'm coming. We'll do it together now. That's what we were doing last.
I actually created one dashboard.
Okay. Let's do, we are doing what? Product category. Okay, let me do brand. Brand. And my. And yeah, profits. Let me replicate this. So I can go by channel. Let me see this. Channel.
So what we're looking for is
Channel name. Prices.
Sell more.
Is
it short store? Store?
The reason why you can real estate is another thing. They are doing sales and things another thing. It's because of the modeling that you've done here. If there's no relationship between the tables,
I want my path to be.
if we give you a telling error, you will bring out. You don't have anything to do with it.
My work and exercises.
So now you don't need to use one. So the profit needs to need. You don't have to use the sales by products. Let's make the profit to one.
Okay.
Get sales by channel.
I believe you are doing something great.
So that is the sales by business. Now it's branch from
What do you have under column values?
Yeah?
That's the product. The names of the products.
Okay.
So you know, so you want the channel, you also need to by channel. That channel is
I actually have a question. How do you write visualization for each of those metrics that are trying to measure?
net sales by and total profit by.
And that's very, very important. Depends on the figure that you know you are bringing in. Probably you are bringing 2 5. You are bringing 1 5. Bringing two, like 3 things together. Like profit and sales. Then you are also looking at clean.
Is it top
Top 5 by net profit and sales. See, stop being this thing. See, the people who are facing the government is it that we wait for one, the last one feed us? So they said, why you put on the I'm coming.
So, let me quickly show you something before we wrap it up for today. Okay, this is not showing.
So pick that line and cross that column chart. Number 5 macros like this. I'll click on that. Next profit and sales. So put your state on the shared axis. Put your sales on the values. And the secondary values, something put profit on the line values. Put profit.
So the total sales is on the column value.
The line is profit. So you get. When I want to put that one across,
I think the only name
you see this big brush like
Because I want to check the trend of the profit. I use this. Can you see that?
so I think like see
Stack.
it's not like that like this one.
I'm almost done. I want to add profit.
Add profit should be under the line values.
So line and stack column chart.
what's
So are you done with that one? Line and stack.
Which one? This?
The circular.
Okay, still the same. Donut.
Yeah, the donut.
Yeah,
What did you put there? What is
like that.
The channel name by says.
What? The what?
Channel name by net says.
By Netflix.
So. Let me save this my document. Channel name by public. So let's save our document and try to publish it.
This one is visualization.
Let's see.
Here you have that states.
Then let me take you
You
to
see
Power
one
BI
check, you
service
want to
today.
chop that something there. Click on it.
Where?
Top end. Top end.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm very happy to see you guys at least cracking your brain on how to get it done. That is the way you see yourself trying to do something while you have external data. So that you don't even familiar with. So just start again, you know what to do with this, and then you create something friendly. So without wasting much of our time, let's give you certificate so that I can go. So I will save this document and share. I will save this one now and drop it on my group chat. Okay, let me save this. Let me save it as data.
Okay, yes. I will just go to how do you get your profit? Total sales okay, you just pick it from the normal column one.
Yes.
Not measure one. Not measure. We did it together.
Okay, what do you mean?
This one, how did you?
Okay, this is it. This donut.
Total net profit.
Okay, so it's now saved by channel name.
Yes.
Okay. But how will it still colors and how?
Go to style.
Okay.
Under
Okay.
So you stop
Because it's song.
So, guys, if you have any questions, you can chat me. I think I'm free this week. So, you can chat me up hello, guys. Yes, you know, just download it from
We are very short the time by 10 minutes.
So, this is my own dashboard. Looking all the everything to be done. So, we are good for the day. See you next.
So that if I get home, I don't make mistakes.
What is it for the profits?
We just go pay you.
You already did
You don't like it. I used to.
and I close bracket. Yes.
Thank you. I will send it right now.
Yeah, you did boy.
So, let me stop this recording.